What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Pokemon Go. This is my new series called Beast Breakdown, where I take one Pokemon from the upcoming Cup and I take a look at its stats, its moves, and I show you a little bit of in-game footage from the testing that I've done. So please leave a like, a comment, and a subscribe if you enjoy what you're watching. It really helps out. Alright, let's get into it. Cheers, guys. So let's talk a little bit about Muk now. Alolan Muk is a 7th generation Pokemon. It has dark and poison typing. You can see its stats on screen now. They're pretty well rounded, with stamina standing out overall. So 190 actually hits pretty hard, so you can count on Alolan Muk to do a decent amount of damage. Alolan Muk gets used at level 20 for the Twilight Cup. This means if you have hatched a decent Alolan Grimer out of a 7k egg, it's more than likely going to be over 1500 CP when you evolve it to Alolan Muk. So the way I went about it was I just did a few trades with mates and pretty much just tried to get a low IV Alolan Grimer so that when I evolved it to Muk, it was going to fall under the 1500 CP requirement. And I believe mine was, I think, 53 IV or 55, somewhere around there, and that was enough to land it at 1482 CP. So no power up needed or nothing, just an evolution, and it was sweet to go. So now we know how to get an Alolan Muk, let's take a look at its move pool. On screen you can see Poison Jab and Bite are its two fast attacks, which has been recently joined by Snarl, thanks to the PvP move rebalance that happened recently. Snarl and Bite are both two good attacks. I like to refer to Bite as a damage over energy attack, meaning that it prefers to do more damage than raise energy. And on the flip side, I look at Snarl as an energy over damage attack, meaning that it prioritizes raising energy over damage. This doesn't mean that it doesn't do good damage on its own, it just prioritizes raising energy. And then Poison Jab is also a very well-rounded fast attack. It raises good energy and does decent damage. So depending on how you want your Muk set up, all three moves, in my opinion, are viable. The Muk that I'm using on screen at the moment is a Bite Muk, and you can really see that he puts out a lot of damage without even using charge attacks. So just that raw, fast, quick damage, taking charge attacks and shields out of the equation. Looking at the charge moves now, Gunk Shot is 130 damage, requiring 75 energy to set off. Sludge Wave is 110 damage, requiring 65 energy to set off. So when you break that down, Gunk Shot takes a little bit longer to charge up, but does more damage. So it's up to you whether you want to put on offensive pressure quickly and use Sludge Wave, which is going to potentially waste more shields, or if you want to go the long route and spend a little bit more energy charging up, Gunk Shot overall is going to do a massive amount of damage. So it's up to you which way you want to run your Alolan Muk. So like potentially if you use Snarl, which is a good energy raising fast attack, then you could possibly use Gunk Shot with it because you know it's going to charge up that little bit quicker. But for me, I use Bite, so I've chosen to go with Sludge Wave so I can actually charge it up at a reasonable rate and potentially get one off. Then Dark Pulse is a good move to have. It does 80 damage and it's a requirement of 50 energy to set off, so it's considerably less than the two poison attacks. So I would say if you're running two charge attacks on Alolan Muk, you definitely want Dark Pulse, and then depending on your fast attack you choose between Gunk Shot and Sludge Wave. But for me personally, I'm running Bite, so I chose to run Sludge Wave as its charge attack. Alright peeps, let's check out Alolan Muk's type defenses. On screen you can see the effectiveness of each type on Muk. Alolan Muk is a dark and poison type Pokemon. It has 1 weakness, 4 resists, and 1 immunity. Looking on screen now, you can see the green 2 under the ground type, that's its weakness. The 0 that's labelled in black is its immunity, and then the 4 half fractions labelled in red are its resists. So to simplify that, a weakness means it'll take 1.6 times damage, so it'll take a greater amount of damage. A resist means it resists the hit and will take 0.625 of what would normally be the full damage. And then immunity is 1 step better than resisting, meaning that you'll take 0.39 damage of the total output. With Alolan Muk only having that 1 weakness, being ground type, A few Pokemon that you might want to look out for in the Twilight Cup are Nidoking and Nidoqueen. Both have their poison typing and ground to go along with it. So they're two you may want to look out for. And then also surprise packets are Toxicroak and Alolan Marowak. Both learn Mud Bomb. So that's something you potentially got to look out for as well. Not so much Alolan Marowak because he's weak to dark type attacks. And I'm assuming that most Alolan Muks through the Twilight Cup will be running a dark type fast attack, so it's not really in your opponent's best interest to have a Marowak in front of a Muk, but just in case, just be wary that it does have Mud Bomb. And that's it for this one, guys. Thanks heaps for watching. I hope you enjoyed the first episode of Beast Breakdown. If you'd like to leave a suggestion in the comments, that'd be greatly appreciated. I feel like I've given you a little bit of information about Alolan Muk now, so you can make up your own mind whether you feel like he's going to be good for the Twilight Cup. But I feel like he's at least worth testing and see how you go from there. So, like I said at the beginning, guys, leave a like, a comment, and subscribe if you enjoy what you're viewing, and I appreciate it. So stay tuned for more. Cheers.